Hello, welcome to Lacewing Lane. If you haven't been here before, my name is Shari, and it is Assemble the Skinny Benches Day. Now these are not the typical skinny benches with 4 legs. The reason being is I'm using the 2x6s, but my legs are actually like 4x3. Let me double check that real quick. Let's see. They are a little over 3 1/4 this way, 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. So they are not the 2x2s that a lot of people have been using for the skinny bench legs. These are big guys, and if I tried to put 4 of them on there, they would end up being wider than the actual bench. So what I'm going to do instead is just use the 2 and then a cross brace in between. This one here, because I had originally cut the legs to lay this direction whenever they were going to be 4 legs, I had to cut them this direction, so they're kind of an awkward height. They are 16 1/2, I believe, but let me double check real quick. Yeah, so the 2 side legs are 16 1/2. The top is 34, and then the cross brace in between, it doesn't really matter how long it is. It's just how far away from the edge do you want your legs to be. I decided on 7 1/2 inches, and then I moved it up, but let's see how long this board is. $17 1/4. Again, the measurements don't really matter. It's just that the angles are all the same. So on the 2 legs right here, I did 10-degree angles going parallel, meaning they're both the same direction. They're both slanted the same way. And on this one, they are opposite, so it's more like a V. They're not both parallel together, they're opposite, and that goes in between. So yeah, what I have to do, or what I'm going to do, is I wanted to use pocket holes just because I hear how great they are, and Tony's used them a lot on all of this furniture he built. He used pocket holes, but I personally have not ever used them. He does have a big, beautiful pocket hole jig over there, but it only goes up to 1 1/2 inch board, and as I said, mine are 2 1/2 at least. So I'm going to use, sorry again. I'm going to try to figure out how to use this doodaddy. If not, then I'm just going to pre-drill some holes and screw them in that way. Now I do have these little 2x2 squares, just kind of holding it up so I could see how I wanted the legs to be, and but they're not centered, so all that will be whenever I come assemble. But right now, all I'm going to do is put the pocket holes in the board. I hope. Wish me luck. Well, I just watched videos on how to do this, and of course my setup is not going to work. This big thing only goes to 1.5 inches, I think it said. Anyway, it's definitely not wide enough for what I need it for. The next thing that isn't wide enough is this. You're supposed to move these, slide these up and down, and then these arrows right here are supposed to line up with the thickness of your board. Well, my board is, let's just measure it again, 2 1/2. There's no 2 1/2 on here because these are only made to be 1 1/2. So I did the 1 1/2 all the way to the edge, and then whenever I measured, that put 2 inches right here. So that's as close as I can get. If I go any further out, Yeah, I don't know, let's just try it and see what will happen if I go further out. So I'll know I want my screws to go in this side, pointing this way. So this doodaddy would be like this, and this is what would stop it at the right depth. So what if I just move those all the way out, and that would be 2.5 inches. Those are not secure at all, and they're uneven. All right, let's just measure and see. Here's a big possibility I'm gonna mess this up. Okay. That is 2 inches right there. All right. Maybe I just take these off. Do they come off? No, they don't come off. All right, well, they're out as far, oop, they do come off. All right, good. Now what we'll do is just measure 2 inches out. Scooch back. And we'll clamp it down right there and see what happens. All right, the next problem being this thing, you're supposed to put it in here and then use this little tool, which is how you find the depth of your piece of wood, which again, mine is way further than what they have. So 1.5 is the most we can get, and 1.5 isn't even on this thing. So I moved it up as high as it would possibly go. You're supposed to use this little clutch thingy to slide it up and down, and then once you get it where you need it, tighten it. I already got it where I need it. I already tightened it. So there's that. This is once, then you do your screws, and this is how you drill them in. This little thing came with one of the sets Tony has. I'm going to try it to hold that down. Okay. If this thing is supposed to go in here, and then it starts drilling here, and it's supposed to go out in the middle. I know mine's not going to go out in the middle, but we can foresee where it's going to go, because that's where it would stop. That ain't going to do me no good. I need it to go this way. Like that. Like that's what I need. Right there. So how do I make that work? And still, I really need it like that. This is a 15-degree angle. I might be doing something wrong. Let me think about this more. Alright, I decided to get this little scrap piece of board, and instead of messing up my leg, I got it set to 1.5 inches. And then I've got this set to as big as it'll go, which when you slide it down in here, it's supposed to come all the way out and stop right there. So that would give me this, right? But that, I don't understand it being all the way back there. It must be backwards. All right, that's to 0. I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. That's what I thought. This little clamp ain't gonna work. This is not right. I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. Okay. What I have learned is I don't want to use a pocket drill unless Tony shows me how to do it later, because I've been dealing with this for like an hour and I've reached my limit for my patience. So I'm just going to use regular drill, pre-drill some holes, put some screws in, some glue, screws, and hopefully that'll work. So what I've done is I measured 8 inches and I made a mark here, and then I measured to the middle, which is just over 2.5, and I made a mark here. So there's a little hash mark right there and right there, and that's where this board's edge should be center. So now I'm going to find the center of this board and line that up. And I'll transfer it. This is the one with the nail. I did hammer it down and punch it in. There's the only thing that's sharp right here is the wood piece here and the wood piece here, and that will be taken care of. Actually, sorry, taken care of. I just got it out. All right, so that is going to go outside that way. So it's center, and now I just got to figure out how the heck I'm going to keep it there. This is what I came up with. I did find a longer clamp, and it is pretty tight right here. The marks are lined up, and now I just have to pre-drill my holes this direction. I got everything I need to do this, but then I remembered I forgot to put glue, and glue is going to be important. So I have to undo what I've already done, and may as well just show you how I did it. And it's not easy for me anyway. It's like every time I do a project, I have to reinvent the wheel, and that's why for me, I need to do the same project over and over and over so I don't have to remember how to do it next time. I've never done this before, so hopefully I can do this one, learn from it, and then just knock a bunch out. Except for I really want to do this other project, so I feel like I'm going to make 2 of these and then be wanting to skip to something else. Anyway, glue first. So if I can get the glue to come out. Okay. Yep. Do I have anything to do the glue with? No. So too much, I got too much. I got too much. I got too much glue. So I'm gonna take some off. Yep, I am. I went ahead and ended up with these screws because they're 2.5 inch. I'm not gonna use Tony's fancy pocket screws. These are exterior and no pre-drilling, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna pre-drill because I know if I don't, I'm gonna mess it up. So I fit the right head. I got on my regular drill, which is pretty powerful. I found one that was just a tiny bit smaller, and then I got on my impact, I went and got the locking thing on here, and that's the correct drill bit head for that size screw. So now all I'm going to do is go in at an angle like so, about a 45, and we're walking. Okay, I'm just going to go in straight. Now I'm going to angle. Heck yeah. I am so happy right now. It doesn't have the big long pocket hole thing that you have to put dowels in and saw off or put putty or anything. It just has a tiny little hole. Okay, so it doesn't have the big hole like the pocket hole would. It just has the little hole right there. I did go in a bit too far, but I went in so that it wouldn't be sticking out. I can put some glue or wood putty in there, some sawdust and glue in there to fill it up, or just leave it like that because it's supposed to be rustic. So I am pretty darn pleased with that. I'm going to do another one right here. We'll go in straight first. And then angle. There we go. Nice. Here's the thing. This is a rustic skinny bench. So I'm not worried about it being perfect or even super level. There's things you can do to fix that. I want it to be secure though. So this right here, that's as secure as it's coming. Gotta glue. Gotta glue. Gotta glue. I'm just gonna do some down the middle then, because I'm gonna be pounding this down and I don't want it to go everywhere. I like it. All right, so 2 screws are gonna go that way, 2 screws are gonna go that way. So that's where I want my screw to sit, about 1 inch out, straight down first. There's that side. I still don't like how close it is over there, but it's tight, so I think, and so I'm just gonna say it adds to the charm of the rusticness. So alrighty, that's it. Did it. Did it. It's kind of riding high on this part, like here. Maybe if I follow it right there a little bit. I can't imagine that's done anything. Okay, it's more level. I think that fixed it. I think it was high centered on that one leg. I don't know why, but yeah, that looks good. I want this to be indoor, outdoor, although probably it would be more indoor decorative, like at the end of a bed or couch or at an entryway or something. Total height, it's about 18 inches. Yeah, just slightly more, 18 and a quarter. Yeah, 18 and a quarter. No, but I don't have any sparathane, which was what you would need to have it outside. So I was thinking I would do some tungsten oil. Tungsten oil will condition it, since it is from outside aged wood from railroad pipe yard and everything. It would moisturize it and condition it, even though it's really hard wood. And then after a little bit, whoever buys it can put whatever finish they want on. If it's gonna be outside, they'd use sparathane. If it's gonna be inside, they could use lacquer or polyurethane or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead. It's pretty beat up already, but I got these things, so I think I'm gonna try them. And I have the chisels, but this already has a pretty good little dip right here. It looks neat. I don't think I want to beat it up a whole bunch more. I'd rather save these tools and my energy for things that need it more. But I do want to play with this, and I want to see if what this thing will do. So I'm going to open that and open these and see what happens. I know these metal brushes. Ooh. Did that just... That's nice, I think. Yeah, I think that just opened it all up a little bit. Somehow that made it more... It's doing something. Maybe it's just cleaning it a little bit. Okay, I'm getting that in my face. I'm just going to go over this a little bit. I think it's already so beat up that you can't see what it's doing. You can see the swirls right there, which it's neat, but I'm not sure that it's adding much to it. Okay. Number one, I don't have on a mask, and I don't want to be breathing that. Number two, I think it's taken away from it more than it's helping it. So I'm just going to blow it off and put the tongue oil on and go from there and see what happens. Cleaned it up as best I could. I don't have any mineral spirits, so I just used a wet rag and let it dry. And now I'm just going to put some tongue oil on it. It's just wipe on, let it sit, and then wipe off the excess. And I'm going to do underneath first. Let's see. Okay, so I put, if you don't watch my other video, I put ebony stay on here and I wiped it off, and then I sanded it back just lightly, and this looks like it's going to have somewhat of a gold tone. So let's just put it on and see. Now the tongue oil itself does add a gold tone, and it has that black underneath. I'm going to be making several of these, so I'm okay if it's not perfect, exactly how I would like it to be in my house, because everybody's house is different, and this is really pretty, like really pretty. So I'm just gonna go with it, and there are all different colors of stains, and every one is a different color to begin with. So I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. You know, I can make the next one different, and we can always do the whitewash and bleaching. The next one I'm doing is actually going to be a gray wash, and this is really soaking it up, so I think it's gonna turn out really nice. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And this is going to moisturize the wood and preserve it and get down in there so it'll have a longer life. But this wood is aged and hard, so it's gonna hold up well anyway. I don't know if y'all saw, but look at the cut-ins. Like, that's pretty. This is good wood, I tell you. Sturdy stuff. Now that I think about it, if you didn't watch my other video, which, you know, a lot of people just watch the beginning and the end, so that's fine. But where we got these boards from is a pipe yard that gets them brought in on a train, a freight train, and these boards are used, they have stops on the end, little things on the end, and they put them between the layers of pipe to keep them from rolling off of the car. And then once they get them there, they unload them, put them in the pipe yard, and then whenever the semi trucks come in, they use them again to load them back up onto the semi truck to take them to wherever it is that they're going to be used. And they have a lot of these left over, and they have so many that they have trash bins brought in, and they just haul them off to the landfill. So they put a thing on Facebook Marketplace telling people to come and pick them up if they wanted them. And a lot of people took advantage of that, me and my family included. And probably better to do this standing up, but I'm tired. And that's what these came from. So there's no telling, like, the story these boys could tell, you know, where they've been. And I think that's pretty cool. And I did leave some of the nails in, which Kevin and Tony were shaking their head at me. But I like the rusticness of it. Whenever we took the stops off, is what I call them, the thing that stopped the pipe from rolling. Whenever we took those off, some of the nails wanted to stay in, and some of them were screwed in, some of them were nailed in. But I was like, well, if you can't get it out, just leave it in, bend it over and hammer it in. I think it looks cool, and it kind of tells a story of where it's been. I hammered them in where they were left. I hammered them in pretty far, so they won't gouge anybody or cut anybody. And I like it. So this stool is not for sitting on, obviously. It's decorative, and I'll stage it up and show you some different things, you know, for putting at the end of your bed, and putting a throw blanket on, or little knickknacks or whatever, setting your drinks on outside or whatever. I am going to make some with the bigger, wider boards, the ones that are 12 inches wide, and they will have 4 legs, and those will be for sitting. But these guys aren't. They're just for pretty. And I am going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, which is jump from project to project. I was going to make a whole bunch of one thing, but I'm just going to make 2 of these, mainly because I don't have any more. I only have 2 more of this width here, the 6-inch wide, and I'm really eager to get some of those 12s cut, and so I'm gonna do that. What I am gonna do is, it's already, I don't know what time it is, 4 o'clock or something. I already got some chicken in the oven cooking, and Tony's working late, but Kevin gets home at 5. But we've been eating around 6 o'clock or whatever. But I got some chicken bacon because I am getting tired. Mostly, I worried about this all day instead of just doing it. I tried to figure it out in my head instead of just doing it and figuring it out as I go. But now that I know how to do it, tomorrow I'm going to get up early, and I'm going to build that other one, the light colored one, and I'm going to see how fast I can do it and how much time it takes me. So you can see there's a gun pile right there. All right. Yeah, I like it. Now the problem is letting it go and selling it instead of wanting to keep it. And every time Tony built anything, I was like, mine, mine. He's like, I was going to make some money. Nope, mine. I'll pay you if you want me to. And of course, he wouldn't let me pay him, you know, because he's my sweetheart. But the problem, like the struggle is real. I want to keep everything we make, and I'm just going to let these go. I know that I have the ability to make some, and I don't know what I'm going to need where once we get out at the new place. I do know I want one of these taller in the hallway, where the picture of the Highland cow that we got, named him Hamish. Golly, that green is pretty. I want a skinny table, a tall one right there, just at like, I don't know, a candle warmer or something right there. And so now I'm going to build one like that there. But I can do all that kind of stuff later on whenever I'm out there. Go do that in the yard. This is soaking it up. I will put, whenever I sell these, I will put some little sign that's saying, may have rough spots and splinters. That's just rustic board, you know, because I don't want these sanded down perfect and smooth and all that. That is not what I'm going for. But at the same time, I don't want it to rip your blanket or whatever, or give you splinters. Hello, everybody. It is the following day after Skinny Bench #1 assembly. I just made a little quick video saying, let's see how fast I can make this second Skinny Bench, since I've been saying I could do the second one faster. I am going to, first of all, paint it with the white chalk paint, and I'm going to let that soak in. I have a dark gray and 2 different light grays, mineral steel and elephant. So I am timing myself, so I'm just going to get to it. I watered down this chalk paint a lot. I want it to be more on the darker one than the others, so I'm going to put it on here first. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm just going to do it, and we will find out together. It's kind of fun being able to play with all these. I'm sorry, you can't see my face at all. It's kind of fun being able to play with all of these because I can do them all different. They are not going to stay this color, as I said. Now, of course, you can come back with a clean rag and wipe it off. but I'm going to be sanding. So I don't feel like that's something I'm going to want to do. We'll see. Now I've gathered all my stuff. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I just made them shorter. That's what I get for trying to hurry. Back we go. That is the pattern. This is dry enough now that I can go ahead and sand it. It'll be a lot easier to sand with it disassembled than trying to sand it once it's all together and having to get in the groove. So we're gonna do that. Masks. Okay. Chisel. This to be the top. Y'all missing all of that? I'm running out of storage on my phone. I took a break to delete some stuff. My head's a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this. We'll see how far I get before I either run out of storage or trying to get some. I don't know why I did that. I have to clamp this. Done with these. Okay, this is mineral and this is steel. I think the elephant would be too dark. I'm gonna try out the steel. On this end piece. Just barely do it. That's better. Okay. That's better. Okay, I like that. I can live with that. All right, against the grain. Barely touching. Okay, it is 5:06. I did take a few breaks. It has been 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 2.5 hours. But I also sanded it and painted it. So I imagine you could build one of these in 3 hours from start to finish. And I do need to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to put some kind of protection on it, clear coat or wax or lacquer, or I have poly spray. I'll probably just do that. It's gotten to the point now where it's starting to just look painted instead of weathered, but I am happy with it. I think it's going to be great, and so yeah, I'm going to let it dry, and then tomorrow morning before I go to work, I'm going to spray some poly on it. I believe I have satin. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'll stage them up and show you what they look like. Sorry about my complaining about my headache today. It was pretty bad, and hopefully that'll get better soon.